field is the same as cosmic field.
Astral field, cosmic field. You see, you can define anything, but usually people don't define. And it's not really so important if different people define something different. I'm having in my philosophy, and that's all I need for all my lectures and for explaining how the core system works, the idea that there's 4 levels. One is the energy, the matter field, the physical field, all the substance, everything that works according to the number 1 principle of matter, and that's the law of momentum. That's the idea of Newton. That's the whole science of Newton. Then the next thing is the world of energy. So all the different energies that we have discovered, light, sound, electricity, magnetism, electromagnetism, gravitational energy, yeah? But gravitational, I will say a little bit in addition to this, but this is my idea of energy. And I'm not subscribing to what other people say to be energy, like most people, everything that they don't understand, they call energy. You know why? Simply because 20th century religion can be put into one sentence. The whole dogma, the whole confession of 20th century religion for almost everybody on this planet can be put into one sentence. And that's all is energy. See, this is 20th century religion. And who is the high priest? Who is the founder of this religion? Einstein. He said all is energy. Matter is energy, energy is matter, and it can be turned into each other, and besides matter and energy, there is nothing. That's all. See, for him, information was nothing. Why? Because information for Einstein was just a modulation state of energy. Without energy, there is no information. Imagine. So, if you put a Bible there, what is a Bible worth in terms of energy for a physicist today? Or like the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever other book. How much energy has this book?
It's only relative to who is...
No, they don't think about relative. Science has, in American terms and 20th century terms, there is no relativity in science, not who takes what. No, the person does not matter. So this book is as much energy as you get out of it if you put it into a furnace. And how much can it heat the room? No? Is that clear? There's no relativity. You see, it does not matter what's written in this book. It doesn't exist in today's, or not today's, but in 20th century physics, science, information doesn't exist. It has no value. It has no quantity. So whatever is written in this book is the same energy. It is as much energy as you can get out of this by putting it into a furnace and burning it out. Yeah? That's the situation of 20th century science and of Einstein. Because if it would be something, you would have to say how to measure it in terms of energy, how to turn it into heat. Otherwise it's not energy. And then there's all the New Age thinkers who say, well, okay, but those people around Einstein, they didn't really know all these subtle energies. And they did not know the prana and the chi, and this is the new form of energy. And they didn't know about this. And I say, all these forms, I do not consider energy. Because I agree, as long as there is not a way to conform them with 20th century science, which gives us great energy tools, like the car, like a computer, like the cell phone. These are all energy tools. But if we cannot combine this with this physics of the 20th century, we cannot call it energy. We just use their terms. We cannot use their science to explain something that they don't agree with. We can call it like this, but nobody cares. Huh? We can say this is energy, but any physicist would say, well, okay, but tell me the way how you measure it. Give me some reproducible way how to measure this prana. And then a lot of pseudo-scientists came up with invented fraud ways to measure this, like the spectrometers where you could measure some homeopathic, or the thermographic way to measure some acupuncture lines. And I did all this. I don't want to go into detail, but this is all fraud science. So I'm in the middle between old and the new, and I'm saying the old did great things, and the new things that are about information have even greater potential. But we should not just mix them in with energy. It's something different. We are confronted with something different. And why can I say it's not energy what we are dealing with? When we are dealing with, for example, distant healing possibilities. All the forms of distant healing, it's not only radionics, but people have done this for all times, that they do some distant healing just with mind power. Yeah, or some masters of the martial arts, they do most, if they're really masters, with intention. So why is this not energy? Like all the people call it energy, but they call it energy because they have no different term, they have no different understanding. So why can I say this is not energy? Why is it not just a new form of energy that we will eventually measure and that we will understand? Why is it not energy? Why? How can I say this? Because simply the first law of physics, the number one on which everything stands, and I'm trained as a physicist in Germany, so at least this one I remember, because it's the fundamental thing that most people don't even know. What is the number one law of physics? Anyone knows here? The law of conservation of energy. So, this means when you turn energy into something else, nothing gets lost. And if you divide it on two people, everybody can get only half. You cannot divide energy and everybody gets the full amount. Yeah? It's clear. But it's the number one law. And only took 200 years. It started with Darwin. Actually, Darwin, he had this idea around Thailand when he was passing Australia, probably around here. He had this idea about the conservation of energy, the law of that there is something that is conserved. And he saw this on the ship. They had different colors of blood, the more blue and the more red. And he said that there's something different, and that's what he called energy. Imagine 300 years ago, nobody had the concept of energy. But somebody came up with the idea that there is something that is just transformed, but it's conserved. It's conserved. So this became the foundation of energy, and not only of energy, of physics and of science in large. Because only once we had this concept of energy, we could see that there is something, we don't know what it is, but we know one thing, it is always conserved. It's not being lost, and if we divide it, it's divided according to a certain percentage. It's not increasing on one side after the transformation. So, and this is what people don't realize, energy is equal to one thing. That's what is conserved in transformation. If it's something that's not conserved in transformation, It's not energy. And what do we have like when I'm talking, the people in the back, they get less energy from me. Why? Sorry for you, but this is the good places. The people in the front, they get the majority of my energy. But you're not choosing to get my main energy from me. Why? So why do the people in the back get less energy? What energy do you get from me? See, that's the degree of physics knowledge today. See, but this is all people who are doing energy medicine, yeah? So, everybody here gets from energy from me in form of sound energy. Yeah? It gets your ears vibrating. Yeah? If I'm talking less, you get less energy. Yes, you get less energy. You feel that you get less energy now? So, it's as simple as this. And if you sit twice as far away, you get only 1/4 of my energy. Because this is the inverse square of the distance law. Simple as this. So, people here, let's say they get my full energy. People in the third row, they get only 1/4. And in the back, they get only 1/16. So, really, you want to have so little energy, want to get so little energy, why are you here for? Why are you here for in the first place, if you want to get so little energy? And you're not even aware that you're missing something. So why, I'm making a joke here, but why, see, this is the real issue. We are not here for energy. For what are we here for?
Information.
Right. See, we are not here for energy. Because if we were here for energy, we could go maybe to some monastery and then the priest, yeah, you get beautiful energy, but not so much information. So you would not be so happy if I do this the rest of the day. Huh? Because you are here for one thing, and that runs our life. It's information. Imagine. It's obvious, but nobody considers it possibly to be the reason for sickness. People say, yeah, he has like an energy problem, he has like a lack of energy, he has a block of energy, he has like a wrong energy, he has like a destructive energy. No, that's nonsense, because that's not what, I mean, there's maybe some people, of course, everything in this 20th century was about energy and physical reasons, because there was nothing else, because there is only energy and matter. In the 20th century, the only thing that we were given by our religion, by our high priest Einstein, is matter and energy. We cannot explain it by anything else, because there is nothing else. See, imagine. So, if there's a problem in a person's health, it can be only two things. It can be energy or a physical, chemical problem. Nothing else. Why? Because nothing else exists in the 20th century. So now, I mean, it's so obvious, but it's so ridiculous that we are not aware of that. There's a big part missing in our worldview. If I go to a computer specialist because my computer has a problem, what would he say? What would he look for? Would he look for a physical problem or for an energetic problem? Imagine, think about any problem you had with your computer. What was the reason for this problem? Okay, she said we should have a break. So, because otherwise you get a problem with empty stomach, not enough energy. Yeah? Sorry. So I have to make a break now that you can recharge, plug in your plug somewhere, yes. Or there's a few ancient antique people, they still need some coffee or some other biochemicals, yes? So please do this now and then come back to the real thing, yes?